Hey guys, what's up? It's Aaron with the Detail Code. Do you have a dirty car? Well, reach out to us. We have a few mobile trucks where we can come to you, and we do have a shop as well. So book your appointment at thedetailcode.com. Use the code Lew Sico 23 and receive 10% off. See y'all later.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Lewsr Lew. It's 12/28/23. It's like 9:30. It's 51 degrees. Chilling in the west side of San Antonio in the back of the room. I got a good homie. I've known him for How long have I known you?
Damn, at least like 14, 15 years maybe.
Yeah. Man, it's been a minute. And I don't even know how we met, bro. I just knew that I've known you forever. It was like because we come from the same part of town.
Yeah.
So this is my boy Relic.
What up?
What cruise you rep?
RTD, Rebel Still Death Crew.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
That's
I like it when I think it's funny when a rider reps like 20 crews.
Yeah, it's definitely yeah, I'm cool with my crew right now, like just being in one crew.
Hell yeah.
Just focusing on that, you know what I mean? That works out for me a little better.
How long have you been riding? I mean, I think ever since I've known you.
Yeah. Definitely, I mean, I always definitely been drawing, since I was a kid. But as far as my first time probably picking up a can of spray paint and writing on a wall probably would be about 17 years. About 15, 17 years. I think 17 years.
Damn.
I want to be more precise for sure.
So you've been doing it most of your life.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
How'd you end up getting an RTD?
Man, it was kind of random, honestly. Stuffer reached out to me. So, Stuffer, RTD, CBS crew, he reached out to me. I kind of knew him a little bit. We had met, crossed paths a few times, when I was a little younger, 17, 18. And, yeah, we never really talked a lot, but one day he just reached out to me on IG. And was just like, hey, I want to hang out and grab a beer. So we met up at a bar, and it was funny because we met up at a bar, and I thought it was kind of, I guess for me, I thought it was a little weird because I was like, oh, I don't really know him too well, but maybe he just wants to reach out and just get to know me or something, So we went to a bar, we hung out for a little bit, had a couple beers, talking about graffiti and stuff. And then that's when he mentioned to me that he wanted to reach out to the rest of the crew about putting me down in RTD. And I was like, yeah, just let me know. You let me know if, I'm down. And it was funny because I guess, it kind of sparked something in me, and I was like, we should paint tonight, bro. And
he was down?
He was down. We went to go paint a spot. And me, him, and another homie. And what's crazy, we were painting the spot, and we did a Suffer relic. So, we shared the R. So it was just a long Suffer relic on an abandoned place off of Pressa. And we're painting this spot, and
Was it the spot across from Freetown?
yeah.
Hey, I remember
Yes,
flicking
sir.
that spot.
Yeah, yes, sir. So we're painting that spot, and we were buzzing, feeling kind of good, real loose. You know what I mean? And we're doing our thing, and once we finished, him and the homie, they started kind of walking down the street.
Who were y'all with?
Say it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I kind of end up sticking behind, and I'm trying to take all these pictures of it and shit because I'm like, man, this is so dope. Fucking painting the Suffer, blah blah blah.
Fanboying a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm there taking all these flicks, bro, and by this time they were probably maybe half a block down the street because they were out. They painted, or we painted, and then Suffer was out. You started walking down the street, and I was like, I'll catch up with you in a minute. I'm taking these pictures. Sure enough, a cop rolls up
Oh shit!
while I'm taking these flicks, and I try to play it off. There was a hole in the fence, so I go through the hole in the fence, and I come out, and as I'm coming out, boom, he just rolls right up on me hard, gets out the car, what the fuck you doing? You know, stop what you're doing, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. And at that point in my head, I was like, all right, I could either run or just take the L. And I was like, nah, I was already like, it had already happened. You know what I mean? Like, he was already out the car, you know, and I was just like, fuck. And he was like right up on me. And then I look down the street and I see Suffer and the homie just gone. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I'm looking at the cop. And he's like, where are your homies at? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Where are your fucking homies at? Blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. He cuffs me, throws me in the back of the car.
Oh, shit.
And then, like, starts driving, hauling ass down this side street off of Presa to go after him.
What, going down the tracks or going down like
right by the tracks, like
okay,
along, like kind of parallel with the tracks.
Okay, yeah, under the bridge.
Yeah, kind of. Well, not that way, but like towards Lone Star.
Oh, okay.
So he's hauling ass down this street, and I'm in the back, and I'm like, "Yo, slow down! You're gonna fucking kill us! Why are you fucking driving so crazy?" And he's like, "Shut the fuck up! Where are your homies at?" I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about. You're wasting your time." And so they got away, bro. They got away, and I ended up taking the charge, man. And
oh, damn! So you kind of first time you wrote with Suffer, you caught a charge.
Yeah, I got locked up, and it was crazy because like after they gave up trying to find him, they went back to the scene of the crime, and there was like 5 more cops already there.
Oh shit!
And they were just like, they had the measuring tape out, and they were like measuring how big the spot was. And they're like touching the paint, it's still wet. And I'm just like, fuck, I'm in the back of the cop car. I was like, fuck. And at that point, I was like, man, I'm not saying shit. I'm just gonna. I told him, I was just taking a piss. I wasn't doing nothing. I was just taking a piss. And when I saw you, I got scared. He's like, why do you have all this paint? I had a backpack full of paint. And I was just like, fuck. I was like, I'm not gonna talk anymore. I'm like, I'm done. I was like, we're gonna go. Let's go. So they took me straight, before taking me to Mags, they took me straight to some detective's office, and I got grilled by this detective.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I got grilled, and he was just like asking me like, playing like the good cop kind of thing, like, oh, how's your day? What were you doing today? Blah, 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 trying to get to know me, them tactics.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck. And, I talked to him a little bit, but I was just like, at a certain point, I was like, no, I'm done. Like, I told him about my day, and that was it, basically. And I was like, nah, I'm done here. And they actually kept my phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a brand new iPhone, and he took that shit, and they were like, you got pictures on here, so we're going to take it as evidence. And yeah, pretty much once that happened, they took me in, and I bailed out the next day, and I was just like, fuck. And then pretty much, started talking to Suffer a little bit more, and he was like, yeah, I talked to the rest of the crew, and we want to put you down. So I was like, well, y'all know I'm loyal, so you know that much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was crazy, man. So that's pretty much how I got into RTD.
Wow,
I proved myself on the first night, you know
that's a fucking, that's a story, like just jumping in the crew like that.
Yeah, it was... it was definitely whatever. I'm glad. Honestly, looking back at it, I'm glad Suffer didn't catch the case because, he had a lot going on in his life, and he was just, it wouldn't have been good for him to get caught up like that. So
how is that man, by the way?
He's doing pretty good. He's doing all right. Yeah, he's in a rehab right now and just trying to recover, from a stroke. So that's wild. That's wild in itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because that guy, he definitely took me under his wing and, like, helped me out a lot and helped me, to progress and get better. And he was starting to, we were doing a lot of murals and legal work together and permission walls. And, yeah, so that, he ended up having a stroke. And then once that happened, it's never been the same ever since. You know what I mean? So, but, yeah, I think he's doing, he's here. He's still with us, man. So that's the way I see it, so.
So you've been writing for 17 years. What writers do you look up to? Like, not just San Antonio, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean, in the world.
I don't know, man. I've always been I've always really loved, bombing and tagging. I feel like that's definitely one of the most, important parts of graffiti. So definitely like riders that are like real bombers, you know what I mean? And people with a good hand style, good throw up, people that get up a lot. Man, I don't know. I think one of my favorite throw ups is Attic BTM. That dude, so dope. And like he's a actual like bomber, like a hardcore bomber. He don't piece, he don't really do straight letters. It's just like tags and throwies. And I love that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. That guy, he's a beast. And then as far as like piecers and muralists, you know, man, I mean, MSK, AWR, those guys are definitely like top of the line.
Yeah.
I like Red Eye Mob, REM crew. Those guys are definitely like just straight up like all around like really dope riders, from like the rollers to the trains to just straight up tagging and throwies and
Yeah, they get up.
just straight
They get up
like,
nationwide. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So
Don't you paint with one of them?
yeah, I've met a few of them. Yeah, shout out to Seamer.
So when it comes to San Antonio riders, like who have you been? Do you write with anyone from the city? Do you just strictly write with people in your crew?
I mean, I've ridden with a lot of different people in town. You know, when it comes to like, you know, running into homies at the bar or like just crossing paths with different homies, and it's like, what's up? Let's go paint. You know, let's go get a spot. So definitely like a lot of different riders from in town. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's in my, I guess, my era or my age range or whatever, there's a lot of riders that have really like been painting a lot. So like I've definitely like just like I said, you know, just crossing paths with different people and we all kind of grew up together in a way, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just we all kind of know each other. So it's always bound to happen, you know, we're going to just go get a spot together real quick or so yeah, just pretty much that, you know.
Man, I was laughing when you said bar because you know, I came up with that nickname for you, Barstool.
Yeah.
'Cause every time I'd be at the bar, you'd be there, just like a
Exactly.
fucking barstool.
Yeah, man. I love going out. I love drinking. You know, it's yeah, it's fun.
I mean,
I like to socialize. You know.
I mean, you're like me. You like drinking at the nice places too.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you can catch me at like some dive bars here and there. You can catch me at Snake Hill all the fucking time, but
Yeah, I think for me, once I find a spot that I like, I kind of you'll start seeing me there often. You know what I mean?
dude, I haven't been by Gimme Gimme. I've been wanting to go by there.
It's pretty cool.
I ain't gonna lie, I miss Loretta.
Yeah.
Like the old Loretta.
Oh, you mean Bogside?
Yeah, there we go. My bad.
Bogside.
Yeah. I miss
I miss
Bogside.
Bogside too, dude. I used to work there.
Really?
Yeah.
I just
cooked there
remember
for
the
a while.
food was good. The ranch was amazing.
Yeah, everything over there. It was just a good vibe. It was a good spot. You know, cool bartenders. I used to see you there all the time. I remember.
So I have a piece of yours. It's in Vice Versa right now. You changed the crosswalk into an A cab.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. That was definitely I don't know. It didn't last long. I think it lasted probably like a week
Really?
at the most. For it being like in the spot that it was at, you know, on a pretty busy street downtown
Yeah.
in front of a really busy bar.
How'd you get that done without
right in
being
front of the
seen?
tower.
Yeah, how'd you get that done without being
People
seen?
drove by. It was funny because while we were doing it, there was people trying to like.
Oh, I thought you did it by yourself.
I did it with a homie.
Oh
Say
shit.
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And well, it was my idea, and I was like, yo, I want to do this, and he was just happened to kind of be there at the bar, and I was like, I want to do this right now. Like, I got the paint in my car, I got the rollers, I got the buff, and it was funny while we were doing it, there was cars like trying to go down the street that we were, and we were just like flagging them to like go around like while we're fucking rolling in the middle of the street. You know what I
That's
mean?
fucking funny, bro.
Yeah, dude, it was hilarious because even like, you know, going to these bars and stuff, you get cool with people that are just, they're not graffiti riders, they're just homies that you just hang out at the bar with, you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And
Fellow barstools.
yeah, and there was like a good amount of homies sitting outside smoking a cigarette watching us like roll that shit out.
Oh
And they were
shit,
just,
that's
like,
fucking dope.
and they were like cheering us on, bro. And even one of them, I was like, here, grab the roller. And I had one of the homies that, he's just a fucking chef at a restaurant. And he was just like, oh, cool, I want to help. And I had him. And then, like, another, like, a chick, she was just standing there in the corner, like, just smoking a cigarette, cheering us on. And, like, there's cars like trying to go down the street because it was at like an intersection, like
Yeah.
a busy intersection, and like
St. Mary Street, right?
yeah, St. Mary Street, and
Downtown San Antonio,
Yeah.
like in the heart of downtown San Antonio.
literally like facing the Tower of America, and it was funny because there was cars trying to go down the street, man, and like even our barstool homies were like, go around, and it was funny, dude, and but yeah, it took us like about a good 30-45 minutes to do.
Oh, that ain't even that long.
Yeah, and then shit, I'd say like probably about less than a week later, man, the city was on that shit. They buffed it really quick.
Well, downtown.
Yeah.
Can't fuck with the tourist traps. You
Yeah,
know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Can't fuck with the city's bread and butter.
Yeah. So that was fun though, man. I forgot about that. But you do have a picture of that shit, which is tight.
Yeah, it's
like I'm
fu-
glad
it's-
you got like a good picture of it, because, man, yeah, I didn't really take any good pictures of that. So I'm glad you were able to document that.
Well, you know me. I like being on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I'm super blessed that, a bunch of riders will hit me up like, yo, Lou, I did this over here. Like, can you come flick it before it gets buffed?
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing it
Especially 'cause
forever.
You got an actual camera too, so like you could take a really dope picture, and sometimes the iPhone just doesn't cut it. You know what I mean? And it hits different when like someone like goes out their way, like a photographer with an actual real camera that appreciates it, that goes and shows love and pulls up. I got you. I'll be there right now.
Bro, I love doing that shit. Like, my favorite's when running on the highways.
Yeah,
Like,
it's fun.
so I got the Meta Ray Bans.
Yeah.
I need to grab them. Damn it! I should have had them. I should have been prepared. I didn't. I left them on the kitchen table. Well, anyways, so the other day, I was taking pictures of some graffiti on the side of I-10, and I was just like, fuck, I gotta run in the highway. So I had to run on that, like, past the access road, like, under the highway in there, and I had to get, like, I don't know. It was scary for a second. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh shit, these trucks are close.
You know what would be sick is can you like live stream on those glasses, or like could you like almost like live stream, like if you could somehow, I don't know, probably not, you would need like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or something.
Well,
but,
it
like,
uses Bluetooth, no Wi-Fi. It uses both of them, I think. I don't
imagine
know.
if you could live stream that shit.
I think you can.
That's sick.
I need to figure it out. I just got them. I didn't really read the instructions because
Go live on IG, be like, yo guys, I'm out here in the middle of I-10. Well, on the side of 35 right now, there's fucking 18 wheelers passing by, and
my new nickname's gonna be Speed Bump.
oh my god. Jesus. Yeah, dude, that's tight.
So, what's the worst experience you've had while doing graffiti?
Oh, man. I broke my foot.
What?
I broke my foot really bad
How?
a couple years ago. Well, I was painting a rooftop. I was kind of buzzing, I was of course, at the bar, feeling good. It was a couple days after New Year's, about 2 years ago, and I was just feeling necio, you know what I mean, on a solo mission. And it was a roof that I had painted before, but it was one of these roofs where like it has like a ledge, and like to get to the ledge you have to like climb like up the back of the building, and then like go on the actual roof, and then like hop over this like little wall onto the ledge on the front of this building. And I had painted it before, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, so I was like, oh, I can get this easy. So I'm up there, and I fucked up, dude, because I was buzzing. I was pretty drunk. It was cold as fuck. It was like probably like 30-something degrees.
Well, you said it was after New Year's, so it was like what, like
Yeah, it was
beginning of January?
Yeah, we're coming up on the anniversary. So it was bad. It was really cold. I remember it was wet. And I'm on this roof, and like the ledge, it's not like a crazy wide ledge, but it's wide enough, And I'm up there, and I'm dropping paint on the ground, like I kicked over my backpack, and like all this paint just like falls off the roof, and I'm looking down. I'm like halfway through my outline, and I'm just like halfway through my sketch, and I'm like, fuck, like I'm gonna have to go back down there and get my paint if I even want to finish this shit. And I just remember being so sloppy and just like fuck, like just it was kind of a blur.
Was this in downtown?
Yeah, sort of. It's like in Southtown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, off of Roosevelt.
Okay.
Just some abandoned spot, and So the ledge, I'm painting the wall, and like in order to get back over, like to get back off the building, you have to like climb over the wall that I was painting onto the roof and then like scale down. So I'm up there, and I remember I had like 3 or 4 layers. I had like a big heavy Carhartt jacket and like a hoodie under that, and like a flannel under that, and I was layered up.
Yeah.
And yeah, at one point I'm just like, fucking, I just gonna give up on this shit because like all my paint's on the ground, like this shit's not coming out the way I wanted it to. I was doing an RTD, and yeah, and I was just kind of getting frustrated. I was drunk, and I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I'm gonna leave. So like I'm trying to get back over this wall that I'm painting because like I'm painting this wall and like the ledge is right here, and like I have to like go over the wall that I'm painting to like get back on the roof, and I'm like trying to get back over that shit, and I couldn't get over it. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I've done this before. Like, I don't know why, like, I can't do this shit. But before, I was a little skinnier, and I didn't have so many layers on, and I was a little bit better in shape. And so this time, I'm just like, fuck, like, I can't get over this shit. And I'm starting to kind of, not really panic, but I'm, like, getting, like, a little bit, like, it's like a mix of, like, frustration and, like, panicking a little bit, because I'm like, I can't fucking be up here. So I'm just, like, kind of pacing back and forth, like, what the fuck am I going to do? And I'm just like looking down. I'm like, the longer I look down, the more I'm like, well, it don't look like too high of a drop. So I'm just like, I think I could probably take it if I just jump off. You know what I mean? It was probably about like, it wasn't crazy high. It was only like 10 or 12 feet high. But probably like closer to 15 feet, honestly. But, so I'm like, fuck. Like all my paint's on the ground, on the bottom, under this fucking building. And like, I was just frustrated, and I was like, I need to fucking get off this shit. Like, I can't be wasting my time up here. Like, someone's gonna roll up on me. So, I'm, like, trying to figure out how I can, like, the safest way to get off the fucking building. And I remember, like, I laid on my stomach, and my plan was to, like, lay on my stomach and kind of, like, slide off. And, like, as I'm coming down, like, grab on and then just, like, drop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as I'm starting to slide off, like half my body's already like off the building, and I'm like, all right, like it's go time. I gotta, and my dumbass just fucking slides right off, right? And I miss the ledge, but my body was kind of like, instead of coming straight down, I was like at an angle, so like I landed on my toes and like landed like face planted on the concrete.
Oh shit.
And I remember just feeling like, I don't know if you ever like taken a hit that hard, but like your face just goes numb.
Yeah.
And I almost like black out for a second, and I just remember like oh shit, like I fucking smacked my face hard, and I like touch my face and it's all wet, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm fucking I'm bleeding from my nose, and
Oh fuck.
and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm still on the ground, I'm just kind of like looking around like I gotta get the fuck out of here, and like the second I stand up, I just feel like in my left foot just like my bones just like that, and I'm like, oh shit, and I just like panicked, like rushed, like just filled my body. I was like, fuck, and I remember like I literally said fuck probably like 50 times, and I'm just like fuck. I'm looking around, all my paint's on the ground, and I'm just like trying to scoop up my paint and get it in the bag, and I'm just like I'm like panicking, looking for my car. I'm like, where the fuck is my car at? Like I gotta fucking walk my ass to the car. So I'm like and I'm like immediately in my head I knew it was broken. Like I don't know if you ever broken a bone, but like
Yeah,
that shit's broken.
Yeah.
Like there's no question about it. So I was like, it's not a fracture. This ain't even a sprained ankle. This is my foot's broken like in half. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because the way I landed like on my toes. So like from that coming that far down and then landing on my toes, like all the impact just like went on, and I guess most of the weight went on my left side. So my left foot just like in half. And I just remember standing up, I'm like yelling fuck, and I'm like trying to get all my shit together. And I see my car down the street, and I'm like, all right, I gotta get to my car. So I'm like limping to the car, and I call my homie Seo, and I'm just like, yo, it's like 3 a.m, and he's like, bro, I'm fucked up, I can't help you right now, dog. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, my foot's broken. He's like, you just gotta go to the hospital, bro. And I'm just like, fuck. All right, yeah, you're right. Like, I don't even know why I called you. I just hung up the phone. I'm just like, fuck. So, like, I limped my ass to my car, and I drove to the hospital, dude. I drove myself to the hospital. And luckily, it was my left foot, not my right foot, so I was still able to pedal, you know, put the gas on the.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was in a hurry, bro, and I just remember, like, just I remember it being so cold and wet, and I'm just like hauling ass down 35, like on the bridge, like by McCullough, like where like I guess like 281 to 35 splits, and like I'm like I get on a 35, and I just remember going up that bridge, just like I still remember it, just that feeling of just like in a rush, like frustration, panic, just everything, all my emotions just like hitting me at once, and I'm adrenaline, bit like rush, like. I pull up to the front of the hospital, the ER, and immediately I just get out of my car and like limp my ass into the emergency room, and I'm just like, I broke my foot, and I got fucking blood all over my face and shit. And I remember like I had a mask because it was COVID times, so I remember like throwing a mask on my face and just like there was blood all over my mask, and I was just like, I broke my foot, and they were like, they threw me on the wheelchair, took me to the back, and I remember like. I was so high on adrenaline. They laid me on the bed, the hospital bed, and I just remember thinking fuck, like what the fuck did I just do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was crazy because I was layered up. Like I said, I was like really layered up, and I remember they put the IV in my arm, like immediately, and immediately my whole body just started like shaking. I was like just shaking, and I learned this later, but when they put cold IV into your blood, like it just makes your whole body like fucking cold, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So they threw a heated blanket on me, and I waited for me to kind of chill out a little bit, and they ran some x-rays. They were like, yeah, your foot's broken like in multiple places.
Oh shit.
But they're like, we can't do shit right now. So all they did was wrap it up, and they were like, you gotta come back in like 2 weeks, and we need a surgery on it. And I was just like, fuck, all right.
Fuck.
They were like, yeah, we need to put like screws in there and all this shit, and I'm just like, fuck.
So you're the bionic man now.
Yeah. And it was crazy because while I was there, like once they had already finished up and waiting to release me, I remember a nurse came in and she was like asking me what happened, you know, like how'd you break your foot? And
What'd you tell her?
Well, so I told her I was just being Nesio on a roof, and I jumped off a roof, and she looks at me and like looks me square in the eyes. She's like, "Were you doing graffiti?" And I was just like, why are you asking me that? And she was just like, I'm just curious because I could tell that you just look like a writer. And I was just like, what do you mean? I'm like all covered in fucking this blanket, but I guess I had paint on me and shit. And she was just like, my husband's a graffiti writer. And I was just like, what? Yeah. And she was like, yeah, what do you write? And I was just like, I'll tell you if you tell me what your husband writes. And she was like, okay. So I tell her, and I was like, so what does your husband write? She's like, I'm not telling you. And she just fucking walks out. And I was just like, this fucking bitch. So, yeah.
So whoever's wife works in the ER.
Yeah.
She did a great job.
Shout out to her. Shout out to her.
She didn't let it slip.
Yeah, for real. But definitely, I ended up having to go back 2 weeks later. It's called a Liz Frank fracture. So
Did you say Lisa Frank fracture?
Liz Frank. Liz Frank. And actually it's common in like, this is wild. It's common in like car accidents and ballerinas. It happens to ballerinas apparently.
You said you landed on your toes, right?
But it was like the bone, like let's say this is my foot, and like where the toes and like the bones that connect to your foot, like those were all broken. So they had to put a few screws in, some pins. And then I had to go back again, like a month later, to remove them. So I had 2 surgeries on it, and like towards the end of this, so the first surgery they put the screws and the pins. The second one it's called hardware removal, and it was crazy because like towards the end, like before they were about to remove the hardware, some of the pins were like pushing themselves out of my foot. So I guess like the foot was trying to heal, and like they had these little pins that were like that they put in there that they were gonna remove. But I guess, like, while my foot was healing, it started, like, slowly pushing out, like, the pins. So, like, I remember, like, on the side of my foot, I had, like, these little bumps where the pins were trying to push themselves out. And every day, they would push themselves out farther and farther. It felt like I had, like a piece of glass in my foot. Or, like you know, like, when you step on glass, like, it was like that. You know what I mean? It was the worst. I remember, like, trying to, like, they gave me a boot. I remember, like, I would wear that boot, and, like, that fucking boot, like, it would hurt so much, like, because it would just rub up against the side of my foot and, like, right up on those pins. Fuck that. And once I got those pins out, I was like, fucking thank God, like, so it was a total, like, about 6 months to heal. And
Wow.
even to this day, you know, it's still
What, when it gets
the
cold?
same.
You feel it?
Kind of when it gets cold, but also like if I'm like on my feet all day doing something.
Oh,
or,
yeah,
like
yeah,
if I
yeah.
go for a long walk or it feels like glass now. Like to me, it probably isn't. I'm sure. Like I'm sure it's fully healed, but like to me, I'm like this shit's like definitely way more cautious now when I'm when I'm jumping from shit.
Oh, my God.
I've definitely hopped a few fences like still, and I'm still kind of I guess looking back, I'm like damn, I'm a little crazy for doing that because I feel like I could easily just break that shit again. But
Well, I mean, you are a little crazy. You write graffiti illegally in the city.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I remember I broke my foot at Timberwild Elementary in like 1996. I was trying to kickflip this 3-stair, and the board like flips. And you know how like your ankle has that ball?
Yeah.
Well, that like you could see where the board curved, and it like smacked that, and it broke it.
Shit.
And this was before cell phones, so I had to walk my ass like a mile and a half back
Yeah.
home on that broken foot.
That sucks.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
man.
horrible, man. I remember I sat and I ate at Taco Bell because I wanted to like chill for a minute.
Really?
Yes.
With a broken foot?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, last thing I was thinking about was eating, man. I was just wanting to, I don't know.
Well, I mean, like I don't even think I ate. I just think I got something to drink
Had
and
to
just
sit
kind of
down.
like I just needed to sit.
Yeah.
Cause man, that pain sucks, man. I broke my foot 4 times. 3 times skating, 1 time playing basketball. Yeah, my ankles made of glass now.
Yeah.
Like I totally
How
feel
it
that.
feels, right? It's
Yeah.
Like, fuck, like this shit's like fragile.
Yeah.
Like,
Like I feel like sometimes, you know, like just little jumps. Like if I'm jumping like from here to here,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to put too much weight on it.
Yeah, I was on crutches for at least like 4 months. And then after that, I learned kind of how to walk again without crutches. And yeah.
You got any more wild stories?
I don't know, man. Like what?
The fireman story?
The fireman story?
I think this is something we briefly talked about one time at the bar.
The fireman story.
Did a fire truck had to get you off somewhere one time?
Oh, shit. Yeah, that was... I forgot about that. Yeah.
So it is true.
Yeah, it's true. It's fucking true. It was on Labor Day. It was a Labor Day weekend. Yeah, yeah, there was this
In the heart of downtown.
Yeah, right. So on the where Cthulhu Tattoo Shop and Cowabunga's bar, so they have a roof, like it's like probably like 5-6 stories up. But there was a good ledge that I had been eyeing it forever. And yeah, one night I was just like, I'm gonna go get this shit. And it was like a Labor Day weekend. And I went
My bad for bringing it up.
No, dude, no, I totally forgot about
All
it.
right, cool.
But I went with a coworker that doesn't even paint graffiti, but he was just like, he's just a really cool homie of mine. We worked at a restaurant together. We were both cooking. He was a sous chef at this fine dining restaurant that we both were cooking at, and he lived in New York for a long time, so he kind of like appreciated graffiti. You know what I mean? And yeah, this fool was just like, yeah, I'm down to go with you. And I was just like, you sure, bro? And he's like, yeah, I'm down. I was just like, fuck, all right. So it was a little early too. I think it was like around like 10:30 or 11.
Yeah, that's pretty early, like graffiti time.
Yeah. And so the way to get to this roof was we had to like shimmy up this crosswalk.
Oh, he went up there with you.
He went up there with me.
Oh shit.
So like we had to like shimmy up this crosswalk thing, this crosswalk light sign or whatever, and like from there onto the roof, and then run across the roof, and then there was a fire escape ladder that just went like all the way up to the roof. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then once you get up there was a ladder that went straight up to like the spot that we were gonna get. So I remember we went up the fire escape there's stairs. We're going up the stairs and then onto the ladder, and as we're going up the ladder, like straight up to the roof, he was in front of me, so he was going up and I was like under, and like we're both going up at the same time. And I just remember like this was like red flag number one.
So there were multiple red flags.
Yeah, red flag number one definitely was. So we're going up this ladder, and I just see on the wall because like we're like up against the wall, going up this ladder, and I just see a laser, like if somebody had a laser pointer, and was like like on the wall in front of me as I'm like going up this ladder, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Oh shit!
And I look down. Oh, so also, I had another homie that was spotting us from the street. So I had a homie spotting us from the street, and then me and my homie were like going up, and I remember like looking back and being like, is this motherfucker fucking with us? Like, why does this motherfucker have a laser? Is he pointing this shit at the wall like trying to fuck with us? And I'm like looking back, and he's just up there like down there at the street just looking up watching us. I'm just like, what the fuck? So we're going up, and I even asked my homie, I'm like, bro, you see that laser? He's like, yeah, but I don't know what it is. I'm just like, all right. So we ignore it, red flag, and we get up there, and I start outlining, and then next thing I know, I look over and I see like there's like 3 bike cops like grilling my homie in the street, like bugging him like about something.
About y'all.
About us probably, and we're just like, what the fuck? And like they're pointing up, and I'm just kind of hiding. I didn't even get to finish my outline. Like I was just barely starting, and I was just like, oh fuck. I was like, bro, there's some cops here, bro. Like the cops are fucking with our homie, and sure enough, like I'm like, all right, let's just chill for a little bit and just see how this plays out, and then we see a cop car pull up, and then we see another cop car pull up. Then we see another cop car pull up. And I'm just like, yo, I think they know we're up here, bro. And he's just like, fuck. So we're up there just chilling, bro. And at this point, like, I think I had a little bit of weed on me, like, some shit. So I just started, like, wiping my hands. I'm just like, all right, we need to start wiping. Like, I'm going to clean my hands, get this paint off my hands, and, like, start, like, I had my little bag of weed, fucking toss it off the roof. And I'm just like, fuck, bro. Like, I think we're getting surrounded, dog.
Oh, shit.
And, like, I see like more cops just kind of started to surround the building, and I'm just like, fuck, dude, we got to get off this fucking roof. So there was another, like about maybe 10 feet down, there was another roof like up against the building. So we like shimmied down. There was like this wire, this like rubber wire, and like we're like shimmying down to the next roof down. And of course I fucking eat it hard, and like,
what do you mean? What happened?
as I'm coming down, this fucking wire busted.
Oh, shit.
And I just, like, I'm, like, halfway down, and just, like, and then, like, and I'm, like, 5 feet down onto the next roof. So I'm like, all right, cool. We made it on the next roof, like, so we're just chilling, and we're just kind of, like, just trying to figure out, like, all right, dude, like, they're coming for us, dog. Like, we need to have a story. Like, we need to tell them something. And he was just like, yeah, we need to come up with a story. And he was like, I got it. I got an idea. Like, let's just tell them that there was, like, a rooftop party. And, like, everybody just dipped, and, like, we just got stuck up here, blah, blah, blah. And we were just up here drinking, like, we weren't doing nothing. I'm like, fuck. I was like, all right, I guess, whatever.
That's not bad. That's not bad for, like, top of the head.
I guess. So, I'm just like, all right, I don't know, man. Let's just see how this shit plays out. So, like, we're here, and, like, we start seeing more cops and more cops, more cops. And then we see a fucking fire truck start to pull up. And I'm like, dog, they're fucking coming for us. He's like, what? He's like, that's a fucking fire truck. And then they fucking blocked off the street. So it was Broadway Street, like a main street in the middle of downtown. They fucking start setting up like barricades to block the street so this fire truck could like pull up next to the building. So we start hearing like the reverse beeps, beep, 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 and I'm just like, fuck, dude, they're fucking coming for us, bro. And we start hearing, hey, we fucking see you up there, motherfucker. We fucking see you. Come the fuck, like, we're coming for you, blah, blah. And we're just like, fuck, like, all right, like, this is it, dog. And, like, so we just start, like, we're just, like, leaning up against the wall in the corner, and we just start, like, we hearing the beeping noise. And then we could hear, like machinery. And the fucking ladder just starts, like, coming up, and we're just like, fuck, bro. Like, let's just play stupid. So, sure enough, we're just sitting there, and, like, we start to see the lights, like the flashlights, and like they pull up, and yeah, immediately they cuff us, put us on the ladder, and they start bringing us down. And like I remember as they're bringing us down, there was just like EMS, there was all these cops, there was bike cops, like they had everything shut down. There's all these people like standing there, like because the bars are right there. All these people are coming out the bar to see what the fuck's going on, and we're just coming down, and we're just like
everyone from the Texan 2 is coming out to see the show.
Dog, and I'm just like, we're like, fuck, bro, like we're coming down, and we're just like in cuffs, and we're coming down, and they let us off. They let us off the ladder, and they took us into a cop car, and they separated us and just started asking us all these questions and shit, and we were there for about a good like 30, 45 minutes. I remember like. The EMS and like the paramedics and all, they looked so fucking mad. Like they had like the fucking like angriest looks on their face because like we were wasting their fucking time. When they saw us get down the ladder, they were like, "Oh, what the fuck are we doing here?" Like, so like we're there and like the cops are like they have us separated and they're asking us all these questions and shit and like we're just like fuck man like we're both just kind of like what the fuck are we gonna do like something's gonna happen and sure enough, we start seeing, like, slowly, like, ambulance leaves. Then, like, the fire truck leaves. And then, like, we start seeing a few cops. They all start leaving. And we're just like, all right. And then, sure enough, the cops come up to us. One cop comes up to me.
So you didn't have any paint on you?
Didn't have shit on me.
You left it up there?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. Smart move.
Well, we didn't leave it up there. There was, like, these, like, chimneys, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Just, like, I threw the weed. I threw the paint. Like, all this shit, like...
In the
I
chimney?
had markers on me and stuff. Yeah, I threw all that shit down there. I wiped my hands real clean to make sure I didn't have paint on my hands. And, so, yeah, they're grilling us, blah, 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 like... And, of course, we're not telling them... I didn't tell them anything. I was just like, we were just up here, like, drinking. Like, we were just partying.
Just bullshit.
Yeah, just bullshit. And... So, I guess they didn't actually see us painting. Because after that, the cuffs came off.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like,
sweet freedom.
They were like, you guys got to get the fuck out of here. We don't ever want to see you downtown again, blah, blah, blah. And I remember how my bike was, like, locked up down the street. And, like, I was like, I'm just going to go grab my bike and I'm gone. And they were like, get the fuck out of here. And they couldn't pin anything on us, bro. Like, nothing. I guess they didn't see us painting. But, yeah, like, they did. The cops were I remember it was crazy because we had our chef knives on us.
Oh, shit.
And they were like, why the fuck do you have these knives on you? Blah, blah. We were like, we're fucking cooks. Like, we're chefs. Like, we're not hurting nobody. You know what I mean? And the cops were so frustrated. Looking back, I feel kind of bad that, like, we wasted the EMS and the fire department's time. Fuck the cops.
Yeah, just them. Fuck the cops.
That's their fucking job. But the other guy that felt a little bit bad, but whatever. And, yeah, man, they ended up letting us go, dude.
Oh, shit. Hell yeah.
We went back to my house, drank a beer, and just, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I briefly remember you told me this story. We were already drunk.
Yeah.
So I remember bits and pieces. So it's good to hear the whole thing.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You said the fire truck. I was like, oh, yeah, I know I've probably had something to do with the fire truck before, but I don't remember exactly. But yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. That was wild, man.
So what? How many times have cops told you, get out of here, I never want to see you again? Because I know earlier we were talking about a story from the past where they told you what? We never want to see you in the West Side again.
Yeah. I mean, luckily I didn't. I wasn't doing graffiti that time, I don't think. But, I mean, 50-50, you know. There's been a few times where I've gotten lucky and a few times where I didn't, man. And sometimes I just, like, you just gotta know when to bite the bullet and just be like, man, I got caught. You know, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So it's like I've definitely ran and gotten away plenty of times, but that's just cause like all right, I know I got a chance to get away, and if I can, I'm gonna do it, and I have. But there's other times where I'm like, nah, you got me. All right, cool. I mean, I'm not gonna admit to nothing, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And
like you got me.
You got me doing whatever, but, you know, if y'all got to figure out what you're going to charge me with, because I ain't going to say what the fuck I'm doing, so.
Man, I still can't believe you broke your foot like that.
That shit sucked, bro.
I bet, man.
Yeah, when you asked me that, I was like, worst thing? Definitely, I don't think anything tops breaking my foot.
Really? Even getting arrested, breaking your foot was worse than getting arrested.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
think
getting
so.
arrested, you just go sit in magistrate and bail out.
I was on probation for that graffiti charge from when I was painting with Suffer and I broke my foot.
Oh shit!
So I was already like, I remember having to fucking go take piss tests and like walk in my fucking crutches, and I even tried telling my PO a couple times like, "Yo, I got a broken foot. Like, let me skip this drug test," and she'd be like, "No, you gotta get your ass over there." I was waiting in line on fucking Commerce to fucking go. Yeah, that shit was rough. That's definitely something I regret. You know, I'm just like, damn, I didn't need to fucking be out that night and fucking around, but whatever. I got a story to tell, so I guess I got that out of it, and I got some screws. So
Do you still have screws in you?
yeah,
Oh shit!
yeah, they're permanent.
Did they go off in the metal detector?
No,
No.
not that
I guess they're not that kind of metal.
I guess not.
They're like metal.
I think they're titanium, or like steel or some shit. But yeah, that was rough.
You got any other wild stories?
I don't know, man. Like when I got put down in RTD, I definitely well, you know, I was on probation for that shit for when I got caught with Suffer, and what was wild was like that year they gave me a year probation, and I remember that year I did like the most traveling I had ever done in my life. That one year, like, and it was during COVID, so everything was like check-in through Zoom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't have to go in the office in person. And yeah, everything was through Zoom. So, you know, it all kind of worked out to where like I just so happened to check in with my PO the week before a trip or whatever. And that year I went to Denver. I went to New Orleans.
Did you go paint with anybody in Denver?
Oh yeah.
Who'd you paint with?
In Denver, I painted with I painted with the homie Ignore. I painted with him. I painted with Shoop. I painted
Shout out Shoop.
Shout out Shoop for sure. I painted with trying to think who else I painted with. It was just different homies. We ended up having we just had like a crew meetup out there, and like a few homies like flew in. So the homie Scuba, yeah, it was just a few of us, you know, just out there running amok.
Man, I remember one year I was out at Art Basel, and I remember Scuba was going crazy taking a bunch of stuff like
Yeah,
just
what was that, like 2015?
yeah, bro. They were wilding out, bro.
Yeah, that was I missed that obviously, but I've heard some stories about that trip. I've heard some wild stories about that trip. I think Doer, rest in peace, Doer. I think he got arrested in that trip for like tagging on a Alec Monopoly mural or whatever.
Yes,
And
dude. I remember I have pictures in Instacrack too of Doer, of some of his pieces.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good year. That was a fun year out there.
yeah, that guy was, even when, I mean, like when he was in RTD, or still RTD, whatever, rest in peace to Doer, but he was young. I think he was like 23, 24, and he was out there like really fucking crushing it. Cause I went to Denver, man. Like he had a lot of love out there. You know what I mean? There's a couple murals they did for him. A lot of his graffiti was running, and he definitely like made an impact on the city in Denver for sure. Yeah, rest in peace, Doer.
So you said you went out to New Orleans as well.
Yeah, New Orleans was wild, man. We had a.
Did you paint with anybody out there?
Yeah, so in New Orleans we had a 30-year crew anniversary meet.
Oh, okay.
So like, we had been planning this 30-year anniversary thing, and we were like trying to figure out like what city would probably be the best to go. So we chose New Orleans, and we did like about maybe 4 or 5 days in New Orleans. We painted a lot in New Orleans. We painted a lot because the whole crew was out there.
Was it easy to paint in New Orleans?
It was really easy. It was a little sketchy.
Sketchy like cop wise or sketchy like people wise?
People wise. But, and like I recommend this to anybody who goes to travel, go paint graffiti in another city. Like, if you have a homie that, like, lives out there or a local you can link up with that could, like, show you around, like, I recommend that because, like, there's definitely certain spots, you know, in New Orleans that are definitely pretty gutter.
Yeah.
And there's you gotta be a little bit careful, you know what I mean? So, but luckily for us, you know, we were having our crew meet up there, so it was about, man, we were probably like 20, 25 deep, and we split up into like 3 or 4 different cars. It was like 3 cars, I think, and we split up like 5 people per car, and like I remember one night we just like one car was in one side of town, another car was in one. They're wards out there, so like different wards, and yeah, like we would just split up and like at any given time, like we were all painting at the same time, like in different parts of the city.
Oh shit!
Because we split up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes we'd be driving by, like, oh, check out that RTD they just did, or like, they'll call us like, yo, like pull up, we need a little bit of help with this one, and like we'll just pull up and help them out real quick, and then just and just we were just attacking the city like.
That's fucking rad.
Yeah, it was tight. It was really tight. I think we put up at least like 6 or 7 like really really big RTDs. Like I'm talking like, man, like huge RTDs. Like,
man, I believe it. I mean, like, I remember one time I saw y'all were getting down like the graffiti mansion,
okay,
and like I just remember Dax was wearing a vest,
Yeah.
like a safety vest, and I just saw this big RTD go up, and I was
Yeah.
just like, oh shit, like
yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's crazy. We were just real strategic about it. Like we were just, 5 of us at once. We just sit back, let one person sketch out the letters, and then once the letters were all sketched out, just boom, and just attack it. We just fill in, out, follow behind with the outline, follow behind with the cleanup, outer gel, blah blah blah, and then yeah, it was just on to the next one. You know what I mean? So, teamwork definitely. Makes a big difference.
Work.
Yeah, baby. It was tight. New Orleans was fun, man. I fucking love New Orleans. I definitely need to go back. Shout out to New Orleans.
Dude, New Orleans. I remember I went there because I was watching the TV show The Purge.
Yeah.
And in the first episode, you see this big abandoned building with a
Oh,
bunch of
dude,
murals.
the bandos in New Orleans are insane, bro.
Really?
Yeah, we painted this abandoned Navy base.
Oh shit!
That shit was wild, bro. It was just like this massive, just massive building, and apparently, like, people have been murdered in that building, and all sorts of crazy shit's gone down. We painted this giant office building. It looked like a Wells Fargo or some shit. Like it was like a 10-story office building, and we walk in, and it was just like, like in the Matrix, where like he's like cutting through the office through the what is it?
Oh yeah.
Cubicles, just like mad cubicles, and we're just like a maze. And then there was like these glass there's like these stairs that go up with like these glass panels on the side. Like it looked crazy, and it hadn't really been painted too much, and that was really fun to paint. Yeah, we painted a bunch of bandos and just a lot of street spots. Had a crawfish boil, ate some good food.
Dude, the food was amazing out there.
I fucking love the food out there. The food's so good. It's just a really dope city, like all around, like culture wise, and
then there's a Harrah's downtown if you like gambling.
yeah, dude. And luckily, we linked up with a couple locals at the time. The homie Lies was living out there, so Lies was kind of showing us around a little bit. So yeah, shout out to Lies. That dude, him and the homie Pyro definitely showed us a lot of love and took us to some dope spots to paint. Yeah, it was fun, dude.
If you can go paint anywhere, where would you go?
Probably Europe.
Yeah? Anywhere
I don't
specific?
know. I don't even know about. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Europe, but even like, I don't know. I've seen like places like Greece, or I don't know. I don't know my way around the map too well, but like East Europe, obviously, like Paris and Spain, and those places are dope. Definitely somewhere outside the country, you know what I mean? I think I would probably avoid Asia. I've had some homies that definitely, it's crazy out there. Like, they take graffiti real serious out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And I've had homies, like, I had a homie get locked up in Bangkok.
Whoa.
Yeah.
For graffiti?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But I think like places like, well, I mean Europe, they definitely it's just different out there, man. Like they just look at graffiti like as just like just another thing. It's just part of the environment, part of the landscape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like San Antonio, they take it too serious.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we spend too much tax dollars like on cleaning it up.
Yeah, I've always like the more I've traveled, the more I mean, I haven't traveled a lot. I've traveled a little bit in the states, but not really outside the states. But I've always kind of looked at San Antonio like boot camp for graffiti.
Well, I mean,
Like if you can get away with it out here, then you can get away with it in most
oh, okay, I see what you're looking at.
most
Okay.
cities. You know what I mean? Because we went to New Orleans, it was a piece of cake. Denver, easy. Chicago, easy. Miami, we went there in Art Basel, Miami for Art Basel, and that was insane.
Right?
That I had never been to Art Basel. It was only a couple years ago, but yeah, that was insane, bro. Because like, it was like the cops didn't even give a fuck. It's like the whole city almost know. Like out here, like Fiesta's coming up, and everybody's like, oh, okay, here comes Fiesta. Like it's a week of fucking drinking and mayhem. Like
A week of chicken on a stick.
yeah, Miami, they're like, okay, here comes Art Basel. It's gonna be a week of fucking vandalism and fools boarding up their windows and shit, and just like, cause like it's just everything's gonna get attacked. Even murals, like
Yes.
even murals are gonna get.
I remember
attacked.
one time I was out there. I was watching Obey do his wheat paste thing,
Yeah,
and then as soon as he finishes, someone goes and does a throw right over it. Like literally, as
That's what
soon
it
as
is,
he
man.
finished,
That's what it
and like
is.
I'm just sitting there laughing my ass off. Like damn, like you couldn't let it ride for an hour at least.
yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Graffiti is always gonna. You play around in the streets, man. The streets are gonna play back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So graffiti is gonna be one of those things where it's just like you either just gotta accept it or find something else to do. You know what I mean?
Man, this hour went by quick.
It's been an hour already. God damn, son, that's crazy.
I told you it goes by quick once you start going.
Yeah,
Like, you forget about time.
yeah, for sure.
I like it. So I've been doing these sober. I used to get fucked up and do these.
Yeah,
And like, listening to the past ones, I'm like, fuck. And there's one where like I was so fucked up I could barely talk.
that's crazy because you're talking into a mic, so you can hear everything on the mic, right? So it's just like any little slur.
Yeah.
Like,
But when you're fucked up, you don't hear yourself slur. You think you're
just-
fucking
yeah.
you know what I mean? You think you're spitting.
Yeah. Yeah, that was me on that roof. I was all fucked up and I broke my foot.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, since I've been doing these sober, I feel like I got a lot better. Like I like doing these sober. I'm trying to put more quality shit out. Like
Yeah.
I'm not just trying to throw them all out anymore. I mean, this is what I want to say. This is gonna be like episode 125, 126, somewhere around there.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, just been stacking these in. I'm trying to get a nice catalog of everyone who comes on here is my friend, more or less.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to have talented friends.
For sure, bro. For sure. Appreciate that, man.
Well, shit. This is where I typically ask, like, if they want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you? But I understand if you don't want to say anything.
I mean, I got Instagram. My Instagram is running the district. It's a private page, so I mean, I'm not gonna add you if I don't know you or if you got 0 posts. It's crazy these days. I feel like I come across more profiles where like fools got thousands of followers with 0 posts.
Oh my God,
I'm just like, well, sorry, I'm not fucking adding you.
Like I felt super bad. This chick this chick I know, like the other day we're at the bar, I'm all fucked up, and she was just like, "Hey Lou, I've been following you for a minute. Do you follow me back?" And I was like, I don't know.
I've definitely gotten that a couple of times.
And then
too.
like they'll pull you up.
Yeah,
and
they're like,
the
"Oh, I
blue follow
you."
back is there, and I'm just like,
What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, and for
oops.
me, dude, I've gotten a lot of flack for like I tried having a public page and like I paint like I do a lot of graffiti and I post all my graffiti on Instagram. So
Yeah.
it's like I feel like that's what I use it for. I use my Instagram for like graffiti and to just document my graffiti and share it with my homies. You know what I mean? But when I had a public page for a long time, and that shit was just, man, every now and then, you fucking piss off the wrong bartender. Like you're at a bar and you write on their shit or something, and then next thing you know, like they're fucking. I literally had like bar profiles on Instagram DM me and like comment on my shit, be like, "You're a piece of shit. You fucking vandalized our shit." Blah blah blah, and be getting DMs, and it's just like, man, after one too many of those, I'm like, I'm cool with just keeping my shit private. Because these days, you just, yeah, especially with graffiti, man, it's kind of like if you're posting everything on IG, like, you got to be careful. Like,
Yeah.
You just got to be careful.
Yeah.
You can get caught up for that shit. So, if it's a suspicious page or if it just don't feel right to me, it's gut instinct, and I don't need to add them, you know what I mean? But yeah, Instagram, maybe I'll add you if you add me. Maybe I'll hit a follow back, but we'll see.
Well, dude, I appreciate you sitting with me. I know I've been bugging you for a while to come on here.
Nah, man.
I'm glad we were able to sit. We were able to sit down and do this.
Appreciate it, man.
Well, if you listen this long, stay out of trouble. I love you.
Shout out RTD.
There you go.